have quelqu'un pour adoption pour...
Je propose.
Oui, c'est Aaron et...
Moi, je seconde.
Et Joseph?
Ouais.
En faveur? Ça marche?
Ah oui.
Ah oui, ça
Quatre, bon. Okay, so now we have the tabling of the financial report. Since we only have one resident, I might as well just do it in English, too, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Town of Mont-Royal ended its 2015 fiscal year with a budget surplus of $7,552,467. The highlights are as follows. Operating revenues, $86,782,430. Operating expenses, $82,446,871. Amortization of capital assets, $4,828,575. Repayment of long-term debt, $3,863,059. And appropriation, $2,251,392. For a total operating surplus for the year of $7,552,467. The surplus is largely attributable to additional revenues from transfer taxes, a development related to the high number of real estate transactions in the town. In 2015, 467 such transactions were recorded, 11 of them in the non-residential sector. Also, in 2014, a $1.4 million provision was set aside for all unsettled property assessment claims submitted by residential and non-residential property owners. In 2015, a large claim in the commercial sector was abandoned by the property owner. The provision for this claim was therefore reversed, and the property tax revenues increased accordingly. On the other hand, based on revenue recognition criteria, water billing revenues were less than had been budgeted. Similarly, registrations for certain recreational and cultural activities, including those for various day camps, organized trips for seniors, and some activities for young people, were lower than the budget estimates. Lastly, another significant factor contributing to the positive result for 2015 was the operating expenditures were less than forecast. The main factors explaining the differences are savings of $1.3 million in mandatory employer costs and employee benefits. In particular, expenses related to the employee pension plan, group insurance, and occupational health and safety expenses. Improvements in public works operations, investment in new equipment, and favorable winter conditions, which made it possible to achieve savings of $0.4 million on snow removal operations. In particular, equipment rental, the purchase of abrasives, and vehicle maintenance. Savings of $0.5 million on water purchase expenses and water main and sewer system maintenance. The collection and haulage services for recyclable and organic materials and dry materials generated a positive difference of $0.3 million. Savings of $0.5 million on tree maintenance and horticultural work. Restrained use of external professional services and external technical services resulting in a saving of $0.4 million. A $0.3 million surplus from debt servicing arising from the use of financial reserves for the cash payment of long-term debt. Moreover, in 2015, the municipal administration invested municipal association, I keep thinking the
Municipal association did a lot.
moreover, in 2015, the municipal administration invested $4.8 million in the town's infrastructures compared with $4.9 in 2014. Details of the largest projects are provided in a table below. I'll just do the 2015 expenses and then I'll do a total comparing 2014 I say, we've broken it out, and then the total between 2015 and 2014 is, in 2015, we had $840,177, whereas in 2014, we had $4,918,474. Now, as of December 31st, 2015, the accumulated surplus, financial reserves, and reserve funds totaled $26.2 million compared to $21.8 million in 2014. Again, there's a table breaking them down. The total between 2015 and 2014, as I indicated, is $26,222,208 versus $21,659,123. Lastly, the long-term debt as of December 31st, 2015 totaled $24.9 million compared to $26.9 million for the preceding fiscal year. Investments to be funded at year-end totaled $5.6 million. Also, the amounts appropriated for repayment of the long-term debt and the unused portion of the contracted long-term debt totaled $3.5 million. All these items brought the town's total net long-term debt to $26.9 million as of December 31st, 2015. The debt load corresponds to a 0.42% of the standardized property value as of September 16th, 2015. So, we have we've broken down the debt. As I said, this is all in another table. And based on the foregoing, it would once again be fair to conclude that the town is in excellent financial health. Especially notable is that the surpluses generated in Mont-Royal continue to be channeled year after year into financial reserves and reserve funds, evidence of a strategic and foresightful approach. Enjoying a substantial tax base that leaves nothing to chance, managed so as to optimize the effect, ever prudent of its choices and attentive to residents' need, Mont-Royal continues to stand apart as a high-quality living environment.
Hey, hey.
So that's it. That's what we're receiving, and then the question period. I don't know if there's any questions.
You want the whole thing? Kathy Ely Municipal Association, I guess. The one, you said there was a contested amount from a non-residential, and that was significant?
Yes, significant.
Are we entitled to know?
$1.2 million.
Sorry, how much?
$1.4 million.
$4 million.
So they gave up, and we had put aside 1.4
$1.3 million or something. It was a contestation, but the contestation is settled with Montreal because they're the ones that are for the tax.
for their part.
But it's our,
It
we're
affects
the
us
ones
too.
that it affects
Right.
us afterwards.
Do we know?
Don't forget, Kathy, when it comes to a contestation, that if somebody is contesting, in this case it was $1.4 million, Mont-Royal pays both parts. They pay the Aglo part as well as the
Really?
Mont-Royal part. That's right.
You mean if they win?
That's right. But see, if it's contested, the Aglo doesn't suffer. It's Mont-Royal that's got to come up with the money to pay back.
And is it an entity that we know, or are we entitled to know who contested, or is it significant?
It was Rockland Shopping Center.
Rockland Shopping Center.
Figures.
So, and they withdrew it. I mean, they sold. The problem is they're contesting that the value was too high, and yet they had paid more than that for the shopping
Just
center.
like when we contest, if your house sells for that, how can you say?
And we
it's
had no
not?
idea.
It was a legitimate contestation, but
But on the
It
other
chose
hand,
to go otherwise in the
once it's sold,
Yeah.
okay.
hard to argue.
Regarding the long-term debt, I thought you said 24 point something, then you said it was 26.
Long-term debt, if you're talking long-term debt versus
Total.
embedded debt, which,
I'm sorry, I don't know the difference, but don't even try to explain it to me. But we used to say that it was like way back. Remember, we had the big meeting. Everybody was so upset that our long-term debt had gone from, was it 8 to?
That's the long-term debt.
Yeah. Now, I know that the houses, the valuation of the houses has increased tremendously. So when the debt was, let's say, 8 million, the value of the properties must have been also much lower. So now if it's, I mean, I'm just sort of thinking ratios, if it is now 26 million, the value of our properties has gone up. Probably the ratio is somewhat similar, I imagine.
The ratio right now is 0.42%.
Okay. And back in those days, you remember when we had the big meeting about the long-term debt? Seems
What was the
ages
ratio?
ago. I have
Would,
no idea,
I
but
wouldn't know.
I bet it would be similar, I'm guessing.
It would be similar?
Okay, so it's less,
Less,
and now it's point
42.
42. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
And don't forget, we have a new valuation roll coming out in September.
Again, yeah. Lovely.
John, a question. What make our excellent financial health is because, yeah,
Where are you on?
no, a question. I'm asking, what make us our town is in excellent financial health is because of the equal between the surplus and the long debt term? This is make it healthy?
Well, we're in excellent financials. We came up with a surplus, one, simply that the number of transactions on houses, we put in a budget for about 3-point-something million, and they came in at 6, so there was an extra $3 million just on welcome tax for residents, plus we had another $1.4 million for this contestation that we thought we were going to have to pay something on, and so there all of a sudden you've got 4.6 million of the $7.6 million. We have to budget for a surplus. Okay, we have no choice. If we run a deficit, we're forced to send out a supplementary tax bill to the residents. So we have to budget for a surplus. And we try to budget, as Philip said at the Municipal Association last night, somewhere between $2 and $3 million. But for a small community of 20,000 people with a budget of $86 million, this was a very good financial
Je
report.
pense, Joseph, aussi qu'une des raisons, parce que ta question c'était sur
qu'est-ce
quoi
ouais.
qu'on est, mais on a un taux de taxe qui est un des plus bas
Okay.
sur l'île.
Yeah, that's right.
On a notre ratio de la dette est à 0,42
Dette long
comme,
terme.
comme Nathalie disait, a déjà été plus élevé.
Okay.
On a des réserves
Uh-huh.
pour pallier à toutes sortes d'imprévus, que ce soit la neige ou que ce soit, on a mis de l'argent de côté pour moins d'emprunts dans le dossier du, mettons, viaduc Rockland. Donc, on a des réserves de prévus. On a une stratégie financière pour rembourser la dette plus rapidement.
Mhm.
Alors, donc, toutes ces choses-là mènent qu'on est prévoyant, on budgète de façon conservatrice pour les revenus et on budgète nos dépenses au, je ne veux pas dire le maximum, mais dans un scénario plus pire pour s'assurer qu'on est couvert. On ne peut pas assumer des revenus super élevés parce que si ça n'arrive pas,
Ça devient des faux espoirs, ouais.
oui.
Bon, je comprends.
Donc, c'est cette stratégie financière qui a été mise en place depuis des années d'autres administrations antérieures et que le conseil actuel continue à suivre et prend les décisions judicieuses pour qu'on soit capable d'être dans une situation qui est pas mal enviable
Non,
dans bien des villes.
c'est bon. Merci.
No more questions?
Ah oui, puis en plus, oui, c'est vrai, l'autre affaire de Nathalie qui me fait penser à nos investissements dans les infrastructures,
OK.
qu'on a juste à rouler sur nos rues et aller chez certains de nos voisins. It's not the same thing.
Very close friend.
C'est ça. Et,
Close
les égouts et aqueducs, tous nos investissements qu'on fait, en partie en utilisant des subventions, mais ça porte fruit aussi que au niveau de l'entretien régulier, on a moins à faire parce qu'on est en... Les infrastructures sont en
on est
bonne
pas en
état.
situation de crise comme on
C'est
voit
ça.
ailleurs, partout.
Oui.
Est-ce que là, c'est tout le temps en temps supplémentaire. Les employés débarquent, ils ouvrent le trou, ils ferment le trou, ils n'ont pas un morceau.
Ouais,
Mais ici, c'est pas comme ça que ça marche. Tant mieux.
I should mention that at our meeting last night, and you weren't there, but Roman Boyko, who is very involved in accounting and so on, was concerned that we over budget so much. And I think you explained it, and we understand the circumstances, but it is something that we're watching. Thank you.
Yeah, we try to budget with what we know. For instance, if you take a look.
our concern.
Yeah. Okay. Can someone close the meeting?
Question? Ça, je
Question?
propose
Ouais.
la levée de l'Assemblée, Monsieur le Promaire.
Okay.
Bon, ouais, ok, il y a des-
OK. Ça marche. Merci beaucoup. Bonne journée.